It feels really good. I know a couple of those guys over there, and they're very competitive. So I wanted to come out here today and make a statement and get the win today. Oh, it's very important. I know I wanted the bragging rights for this game this year, so I definitely had to come out and get that win.
First couple games for your career, you essentially did have a lot to replace in terms of Kevin Durant's injury. How did you come into this game and into your role, offense and defense, during
Um,
that time?
One of my biggest roles is being the leader and leading our group. They jumped out on us pretty fast, and I just told them it's still a game, so let's stay connected, and we did good with that. We rallied. My role has opened up now with Tevin going down. I can't wait for him to get back. But it's a great opportunity for me, and I just can't wait to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. What went through my mind was to grab my guys together, just bring them all together. Let's have a refresh. Let's power clap. Something we do to refresh everything. And after we power clap, we got a good group of guys, man. Like we have so many leaders that's ready to win, and everyone's voice matters, and everyone is able to accept the criticism, and we did that pretty good tonight.
How much of the Ball State game, you guys are down similar margin, 14 points in the first 10 minutes? How much did that experience were you able to rely on knowing that you weren't out of this game despite the result?
Just knowing that it was still a lot of time on the clock, and believing in my teammates.
Hmm. It just shows that we're a very tough team. We know that basketball is a game of runs. They're always the other team is going to make some runs. We just gotta withstand those and then just make our runs and just keep trying to get stops on the defensive end.
And what kind of in-game adjustments did you guys have to make on the perimeter? They were drilling a lot of threes early on. It looked like they had some pretty good ball movement. But as the game went on, it looks like you guys tightened things up and took away the three format.
Well, we were prepared for everything. I feel that we just came out slow with it. But as soon as we locked in and went over everything that we did in practice, and we actually, played our hardest out there, you seen that we locked them up pretty good. So I just think it was a matter of locking in mentally, and we did that.
Great. In the first half, Steve Harvey come back with a freshman, not just to you, but Bronski and David Duquesne as well. What have the freshmen as a whole provided for you guys, not only on the court, but off the court this season?
They provide a lot. We know that they know that we need them. We preach to them every day in practice that we're going to need them to get wins this season. And I feel like their confidence is very high right now. I feel like they're not playing like freshmen right now, and I really love that for them. Just the game is going to be a hard fought game. It's going to be chirpy. We just got to stay locked in with each other. Don't get into personal battles, and then just play as a team.
For you, was there a chance coming off the DePaul win that you guys were a little, for lack of a better word, sort of sleepy to start this game? Was that sort of part of the issues coming off the Big East victory?
Um, I would have to say no, but I will say that it's different for us playing at 2 o'clock. Our last couple of games have been at 7 p.m. So a little bit more time to rest throughout the day and things of that nature. But like I said, we did come out slow, and it was a different kind of game for us. But I think we did good by fighting back and finally waking up. Yeah.
How do you concentrate on just playing games in a willing environment and travel time and things like that for the holiday and then working the next day?
I would say we would have to have a better mindset than we did today coming into the game. But I think with this being the next one at 2 o'clock, I think we'll be fine because we've adjusted to a 2 o'clock game now. I think we'll be just okay.
Trey, the guards, especially Jimmy Clark and David Grant, have been key offensive players this year. In this game, it was you and Joe Reese that sort of provided most of the offensive lift before those two took over late in the second half. How
Hmm.
important is it from an offensive offensive standpoint for the front court collectively, and at Rotroff and the others. How important is it for you guys to sort of do your part when it comes to scoring?
We know that we're just gonna have to do our job every night. We know that those guys, they're gonna do their job as hard as they can. But if they can't bring it, we have to bring it.
Thank you all, Coach. Very exciting.
and the day before, really. So I was a little shocked by that, but we just we were fortunate that we battled back, to take the lead. And the thing that was impressive to me was I knew they'd probably come back at us again because we expended a lot of energy coming back. And what was impressive was in the last 6 minutes we gutted it out and made a lot of plays. What wasn't impressive is we had a hard time guarding them. They're a tough guard because they're playing small ball all the time, right? And then their 5-man shoots it. So now our 5 men are used to coming and blocking, and if you come and block, you're giving up threes. So we didn't adjust great with that, which is something we got to get better at. But they have a good offensive team. They have a good team, for sure good offensively. And I mean, they're hard to guard because they shoot it too. So, and they pass the ball well. So they have a lot of skilled players. But we got to do better. We certainly got to do better. Anybody else?
First half, when you guys were down, the freshmen, you look at Duquesne, Bronski, and Mizzou sort of gave you a big lift when it came to coming back in there. How big were they just to even get you guys back into it and ultimately lead?
Well, I thought Day and Trey Clark obviously struggled in the first half. I thought McGriff was the best of the three, and he was playing on a kind of a bummy knee. So I figured, heck, we're not playing very good. Let's get them some minutes, and if nothing else, maybe we could reboot on the sideline, get a little bit of rest, reinvigorate. I thought when they came in the second time, they played a little better. And again, we can't let offense dictate how we play defensively, and I think probably Trey and Day had some struggles with that tonight early on. But I thought Matoush and McGriff and Kareem helped us in the first half survive what could have been catastrophic.
Like this definitely puts your resiliency on display. But looking back a couple weeks ago, the Ball State game kind of got off to a similar start. Do you see any parallels between tonight and that game? And how do you erase just falling into such big holes early on and have to claw yourself out?
Well, I just think that's basketball now. Like, it's hard to like it happens to everybody's. Last game we got out of the box, right? And DePaul played that way. Um, I challenged them, at halftime to not let the same thing happen, but they almost got away from us again, because when you're playing uphill, when you're chasing the game all the time, that becomes an issue. But in the last 5, 6 minutes, we made every play, offensively especially, but more defensively than they did. And that was the difference in the game. To fall into the trap, we just have to keep practicing hard. Really in the last, since we lost the 2 games, we've not worried about having fresh legs. We just tried to get better for the next 2 weeks. And we knew that it would help us in the short term too, as long as we weren't completely dead-legged. So we had to build our habits of toughness, resiliency, playing longer in practice in order to help us down the line. So I know I didn't answer that question, but I really don't have an answer for you. So after 40 years, I still don't have all the answers. We haven't been very good at the line. I thought, Trey Williams made all 3 of his. Reese missed one big one, but overall he made his. I'm just looking who got fouled. I mean, if you make it that clip, you're going to be in good shape. And then we made from the 3 line too. Our problems wasn't the beginning of the game. Our problems were the offensive end and the defensive end. But from that point on, we struggled defensively more than offensively.
Trey Williams took 9 attempts this last week, his 19 and 8. Do you ever want him to sort of be more aggressive offensively, barring whenever he gets double teamed? Whenever he has 3 1-on-ones that you want him to go up more instead of passing it out?
So we told him, look, if they're not going to guard you, shoot one of the 3s. And he did. I thought he was going to make it, but he didn't. So that's the next part. He has to start making some of those. But they doubled him. So, and we got to get better against the double team, which we haven't played as good against the double team as most of my other teams in the past have. So we have to spend more and more time on it. Our movement's not as good. We don't pass it out as well as it should be because the last 3 teams have doubled him every time he touched it. So unless you get it deep, or the ball moves quickly, you're going to get that every game. So I don't know if he can get more than that at this point. Does that make sense?
16 conversions. So that's another game from him. I'm assuming he's about 100% health. Have you been able to, when he's been giving you guys, particularly as an offensive weapon, has that been what you envisioned when you brought him over from Bowling Green?
I think his juice has improved. His energy level, his juice. I thought he had a miserable start to the second half defensively. Again, I tell him this, so I'm not talking behind his back. I just tell the truth. But again, he rallied himself. But Joe Reese has been in a million ball games, and he's a talented guy. What I'm trying to convince him of is to not let plays bother him, which he does, right? And to be a junkyard dog because he's good at that, right? He has to make those tough, uses athletic ability, his running ability, his offensive rebounding ability, instead of being worried about being so skilled. Like he's got a good skill set. Like he's got good touch, but that's what he wants to be. But sometimes you got to know what you are. He should be the best junkyard dog in the country. And his skill set is good enough that he can be, right? Because he's not a guy that can't shoot it. He's got good touch. But to answer your question, Joe Reese allows those young kids to develop because they're going to be really good players, but they're young and they're learning. So it gives them time. Now, they may not like that, which, again, all of us, we all want guys that want to play. Like, we don't want anybody that loves sitting there, right? So it's a double-edged sword in a lot of ways. So, but with Reese, Trey Williams and Rotroff, it allows those guys in certain games to not have to, be fifth-year seniors. Thanks for coming. Have a good holiday if I don't see y'all. Oh, we got one more game, right?